Hello everyone, welcome to another update. Thank you for joining us. Happy New Year, a couple weeks late, but Happy New Year. We're excited to be with you and update you on what we have planned for this year. And actually on our trip, we just came back from Korea, which was amazing.
Yep, and the Korea trip was kind of a whirlwind. So
Right.
we were invited by Pastor Choi, a dear friend of ours who is a pastor in South Korea who ministers to North Koreans who have attained newfound freedom in South Korea. So we like to call them North Korean freedom fighters.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, victorious ones. And we were able to join them for an again 1907 conference, which focuses on the revival that happened in Pyongyang in 1907. And pastors and those that had lived in North Korea come together and they pray for revival again in Pyongyang, in Korea, for United Korea, but also for revival around the world.
Right.
It was incredible to see. There were over 200 North Koreans that now live in South Korea and who have, escaped communism, but also who are so in love with Jesus, they would do anything for him. And it was an encouragement and also to be able to pray for people for healing. And we saw so many things. Like we saw healing from trauma. We saw physical healing. We saw God's love just revealed to people and people encountering God's love in ways that they never had. And then just this idea of being a son or a daughter. Right? Because growing up in that kind of environment, there's not a lot of love or even value for life or even affirmation for who you are, who God created you to be. And so it was wonderful to be able to introduce people to the love of the Father for them to receive as a daughter or son of God.
Yeah, and one of the things I really loved seeing is even as people had experienced so much trauma, if you think about, just imagine what it would be like to try to escape another country, to sneak into a third country and then try to run from the police and then get to another country and then find someone to help you get through and getting captured and going to prison and all these things. There's so much trauma involved. But to see people who endured all that trauma worshiping Jesus and celebrating and dancing with joy because they found freedom, not just freedom from communism, but freedom in Jesus, right? So that really impacted me, and it tells me that, as long as we keep moving forward and pursuing Jesus, he's going to do something amazing. And it reminds me of Galatians 6:9. It talks about, not growing weary in well-doing, that we will see a harvest if we don't give up. And so I just want to encourage all of you, kind of off of that Korea trip, seeing what God's doing, the harvest he's bringing in these people's lives because they were willing to keep going forward. So we encourage all of you, keep going forward and whatever God's called you to do. Don't give up. Don't stop. Keep moving towards Jesus. He's going to get you where you need to be. He's going to bring a harvest through you. He's going to accomplish the purpose he has for your life. So keep moving forward. We're excited for you. We're excited to see what God does in your lives this year and what he's going to do through Wounded No More this year as well. Our next big thing we have happening just in a couple of weeks is our annual winter giveaway, where we get to give away hats and gloves and scarves and all the kind of winter supplies that people, maybe not all the supplies, but the common supplies that people tend to need during the winter to stay warm, especially if they're spending a lot of time outside or if they're living on the streets. And so we're excited about doing that.
Yeah, so if you want to give to that, you can give at the Wounded No More /partners. And we're looking forward to blessing our friends on the street, especially. It's been a really cold winter here in DC, and there's a really big need for housing. So pray with us that our friends that are on the street will find permanent housing and that they will encounter God to be able to have a transition and a divine encounter with him that will transform their lives. A lot of people right now are really feeling the burden of addiction and hopelessness. And
Right.
so we are so honored that we get to bring hope into places where people don't have hope.
Yeah.
So, there are many ways you guys can volunteer with us. If you're local and you want to come out with us on that day, it's going to be on Saturday, February the 10th.
Right.
And we're going to feed the community, and we're going to give out these items. But also, if you just want to donate and support us financially, or if you want to pray for us, pray for our community. The community is Anacostia in Washington, D.C. And I really feel like the more people we have praying, the more we're going to see God do things.
Yeah.
And the one thing I loved going back to the Korea is Koreans are known for their prayer.
Right.
The intercession that they have is huge. And even as we were there, it's a long day.
Very long day.
In this conference,
Very
it's like
long day.
morning, afternoon, and night. But
And midnight.
but what we love about it, sometimes into the early hours of the morning. But we loved about it. It was a real sense of family,
Right.
not just a conference. It was, we're going to come together, we're going to intercede together, we're going to worship the Lord together, we're going to share meals together.
Yes.
And there's this bond of family and this generous spirit that was there, that I will do anything for you. How can I serve you?
Right.
And so we want to impart that to you guys and encourage you that, wherever you are right now, things may seem difficult or challenging, but we have to remember, don't grow weary. Right? Who is with us? Jesus is with us. Who is for us? Jesus is for
Come
us.
on.
So don't grow weary. Keep pushing on. Keep pushing through. Ask God, what am I not seeing that you need me to see? Or show me what you're doing, God. So that's just an encouragement. So we just bless you and we thank you guys, and we look forward to hearing from you. Send us your testimonies, send us your questions if you want to volunteer, or if you have ideas or things that God has put in your heart that you feel like Washington, D.C. needs, or that We Need No More can partner with.
Yeah.
Let us know. We
Please.
really want to hear what God is speaking to you about as well.
Yeah, check the information, the links in the description below, and you can get the links for volunteering and helping us out. We bless you guys. Have an amazing rest of your month, and we will catch up with you next month.